Hey YouTube, welcome back to Unix TCG, and today we are going to start diving into the pocket format that we have between July 1st and August 10th when we get set 3. So I hope you guys are excited because we're going to start looking over all the decks that you could be playing at your future regionals, Gen Con, locals, all that jazz. Now, we're going to do blue for today's topic, mainly because I'm going to start doing these once again in conjunction with my Patreon. And speaking of my Patreon, as per voted in there with the highest amount of votes, or pretty much tied for the highest amount of votes, we're going to do Goku Black. I'm going to have you guys jump into where I'm starting off with the list, what I think about the deck, its matchups, things like that. That will all be on the Patreon as soon as you see this video. But it's not just done with that. Also on the Patreon, we're giving away this top 64 Vegeta to one of the lucky winners at the end of July. So if you want to be in the running to win this top 64 Vegeta, all you gotta do is join the Patreon, enjoy the content that's coming out, and yeah. So with that being said, let's set this video towards 100 likes. I know you guys can do it, and let's dive into blue as of the 2.5 format. So to start off this video, just going to have a brief history of blue. A lot of people have some misconceptions about the color because blue was always seen to be as the worst color in set 1. And I've said this time and time again, blue was never the worst color in set 1. It was simply the only color that could not fight well against green. And green was the most overtuned color in the set. Now I know what people are saying, okay, well if the best deck is green and you can't fight green, that makes you the worst color. Yes and no, because blue had the excellent matchups against red when it could tune correctly, and an excellent, like almost like face-breaking matchups against blue. Sinister Sickle could remove for 3 energy 8 cost worth of cards. Your opponent goes Cooler and 4 cost Frieza, and you could literally be like, yeah, tap 3, put those both in the bottom of your deck, so help me. So yeah, it's always had some moves. Even when set 2 was getting spoiled, I was looking at set 1's blue and I was like, set 1 already has the counter to some of what set 2 is doing without even showing Zeno, like any of those new cards. So yeah, blue has always had some legs. And with the leaders, the main issue for set 2 is that with TopKu in the format, TopKu was pinning down a lot. One, the things that TopKu polarized, because you're going to get this topic a lot in these videos, because TopKu being in the format versus being out of the format is what is like single-handedly the catalyst for a lot of what's going on. So with TopKu in the format, it pinned down green, which is easily blue's worst matchup. And that allowed blue to come out knowing that it could actually thrive and just not likely see green. Now the other fallout effect is that because yellow has such an abysmal blue matchup and still has to kind of 50-50 versus TopKu, yellow kind of just fell off of the radar period, which led to a format where it was essentially dominated by red, and then you had some blue, a lot of blue actually, and then you had some yellow, some green, but those were like rogue. Now, blue had enough answers to try to weather the storm of TopKu. But what also happened in the format is that to better fight TopKu, Beerus, TopKu alternate flavor, was being played because it had superior removal and could neutralize the boards that TopKu played out for near free. Now, Beerus is notably slower than TopKu, which pretty much meant that Beerus actually was too slow in most cases to fight blue correctly. Compile this with the fact that blue was the best color at just holding its awaken until the latest possible moment because the buffer of life was the most surefire way of not dying. So when you have this, you have Trunks, who could hold his awakening, and then when he flips, he can start recycling things like Pilaf, he can start recycling things like Piccolo to get your extras back, he could start popping things like the Android 17s back to your hand to make sure that, you know, between Sickle and Leader Effect, you were clearing 3 bodies at a time. You had Vegeta, who is very, very tricky because you awaken Vegeta too early in the game by hyper awakening yourself as TopKu, and Vegeta will beat down those last 3 life like it's nothing. You awaken him too late in the game, and you're in a simplified game state with very little cards in hand, and your opponent can literally counter super combos in trash and drop and know how often you could actually counter out of their leader swing without dropping massive chunks out of your hand. So Vegeta had a very sticky middle ground. I call it the 4 through 6 turns, where you really have to do the most damage to them and attempt to seal the game at that 6th turn or right after, when they generally have to tap out for Zeno to neutralize your board. Then you have Zamasu, and Zamasu was just a beefy boy, getting up to 25, allowing himself to be easily defended. The life gain doesn't even really come into play as much, like it can, but not as much, and really you just survived, you turtled up, and you became harder to kill once you finally did flip at the cost of drawing. Now the odd man out was Goku Black, because Goku Black was the only blue leader that requires you to awaken as soon as possible. He's a crit leader, so he doesn't draw on his front side, which all the other ones do, and then he flips over, and his backside is very combo centric to drop these Goku Blacks. So Goku Black kind of low-key was de facto the worst blue leader for last format. But now that TopKu is gone, you now have a very weakened Beerus, a very down-to-the-earth, not cheaty U7 Goku aggro that actually plays like a balanced aggro should. For the most part, Glimpse is still broken. And then you have a couple things happening. With TopKu not being in the format, now you have Green being able to play freely. Now, with Green being able to play freely, yes, you have Blue's worst matchup back in the format. But this has also caused 2 cascading effects. Number 1, Yellow is starting to see a resurgence, because Yellow's 3-drop Vegeta makes it almost impossible to play against Yellow. Combine that with Frieza, for instance, and if you have Frieza and 3-drop Vegeta, Frieza SER and 3-drop Vegeta tapped, Green's cards read like poo-poo. You play Broly, you tap 8 to draw a card in rest mode. you play Cell, you tapped 8 and you lost 3 energy to play a card in rest and gain a life. You might as well just play 6-drop Gohan. You save 2 energy, save the 3 energy you're about to send away. So yes, Green coming back into the format is detrimental for Blue, but it has also increased the amount of free wins that Blue can see on the tournament ladder. Now, the second thing that this has actually caused, Green being back in the format, is that because Red is weak enough to where Green can come out of its hidey hole, that means that Blue no longer has to play the turtle format. Vegeta's can awaken freely and just try to press those last 4 life as hard as possible. More importantly, Goku Black, who was arguably the worst blue leader in set 2, is now, in my opinion, the best blue leader in set 2, and we're going to get into that. He is a combo-centric deck inside of a control color, which means that you can run the Goku Black combo pieces while still running Sinister Sickle, Absolute Lightning, Zeno if you want to, and you have your oh crap buttons while you have your combo mechanics. So Blue is able to come out of the woodwork, shift its deck more aggressive to mid-range, and attempt to equalize its matchups with Green. So we're gonna end up going into essentially just pulling this all together, but first, let's have a quick word from our sponsors. All right, y'all, taking a quick moment to shout out the sponsors for this video. First up is Mystic TCG, a store based in Missouri that sells all sorts of TCG product, even more than what you see featured here on this page. They also buy singles, collections, and prize cards, so make sure you actually catch them out in their store in Missouri at an event, or even on their Facebook, just to be able to see the events here, but also ask them what they're up to and what they're looking for in terms of vending. You can also use the code UNIXTCG to get discounts off your pre-orders as well as orders, so make sure you get your TCG product while it's hot. Then you have Eclipse Cards and Hobby based out of Texas, and if that sounds familiar, they did sponsor me with a box of Fusion World Set 1. But as you can see on this page, there is a plethora of TCG products that they are actually having for sale at their establishment. You can also even buy things that aren't just TCG products. As you can see on the screen right here, they hold their own locals, they hold their own events, and they are going out to more and more events. You can actually check their Facebook to see their schedule, as well as call and ask about their vending list. And at the checkout for their website, you can use the code UNI10X to actually get percentages off your pre-orders or your orders. So go check it out as well. And we're always up to all sorts of things in Universe X, so you can go down the description and check the link tree to find out about my other channels, my Twitch, or any other avenues that I'm creating content on. But if you want to go the extra mile, you can always go down to any description on any video and find my Amazon affiliate links. These products here will differ from video to video to cater to the audience in question, but it's just very easy to see something that you may like or be interested in, open it up and choose the style and or color that'll work for you. All proceeds will give kickbacks to the channel, so it'll be some direct support, and I'll always appreciate the help from you guys. So with that being said, let's get back to the video. Cool stores, yeah? But I also wanted to let you guys know that on top of using those codes to get your discounts, you can also go over to UniXDB and yeah, just check out the channel. It's my Dragon Ball channel, and I will be giving away 2 copies of Sparking Zero for the console of your choice as long as I'm monetized by October. So get over there, check it out. We'll be summoning on LR, transforming Ultra Instinct Goku in just a day or two on Dokkan, and covering more Sparking Zero news as it comes out. So yeah, when it comes to the blue decks in question in this format coming up, you have to understand the couple things. Your red matchups are going to be very 50-50. Your green matchups are going to be uphill, and your yellow matchups are going to be freemium plus for the most part, just because of the way that Sickle and Vegeta interact with yellow in general. So when it comes to leaders though, there are some winners and losers. We already just talked about Goku Black. Goku Black is able to cheat out the 6-drop incredibly fast, starting to build out some free plays, and that allows your energy to be open. If you've been playing blue or played against blue extensively, you guys know what open energy does in blue. Peel off turns into peel off, turns into peel off, and your opponent has to get rid of them before they can play. Green can get rid of them, but they're kind of using random effects, like bigger effects, to get rid of like thousands of 10,000s of combo power. You have red being a little bit out of the format, which means that you don't have as many -5Ks running around. You move over to yellow and you can tap down the peel-offs, but then if you don't get rid of them, they're potentially their only offense, or you might have to tap them again after you've gotten your board neutralized. And then you also have other blue matches where it is a lot easier to bottom deck these peel-offs and whatnot and kind of hinder your opponent. So Goku Black is going to be able to be very good. Making a board without having to touch your base energy is just very strong. And you're swinging with 40Ks. The free cards that come to the board allow you to a combo up to 30 and 40 very often. You move on to, Vegeta, and I think that Vegeta is very, very good. Vegeta has that new Bulma, which is the Harumaki card. You're going to be able to swing for 35, 45, sometimes even 50, 55, depending on if you have that new Vegeta on board as well. You start going really, really hard into your opponent in terms of damage, and you can really press them the moment they awaken. Followed by Trunks. Trunks may not have the raw power of Goku Black and Vegeta, but what Trunks does have is the most combo ability. He is able to bounce his peel-offs to hand. You never have to worry about how you're getting that last peel-off back, recurring it, or bouncing it back with another card effect. Trunks will do that himself. Peel off, peel off, peel off, get another card, bounce a peel-off, so that you know that no matter what, as long as you have the energy to play it, you're getting your peel-offs back. Trunks is able to do silly, stupid things like play Harumaki, gain 10k, bounce it back to hand, play Harumaki again, gain another 10k. Your leader's a base 40k, and you can combo up to 50k, and that's without anything else in your hand, just the singular Harumaki and your leader effect. Trunks is able to pop off in terms of his plays, but you also have a loser of the format, which is Zamasu. Now that blue can't really afford to just be the overall late game deck because green is the better late game deck, Zamasu, who likes to hold off his awakening as long as possible because his backside simply does not draw, becomes a hindrance. You cannot awaken early and pressure blue like that green like that in Zamasu. It's just counterintuitive to the deck, and his late game will never outstrip green's late game. I think the coolest part about blue right now is that the blue core is extremely small. If you really want to go there, 3 to 4 peel-offs, 3 sickle, and like 2 absolute lightning. Realistically, a core of 9 cards or so. And the rest of the deck is however you want to build it. And that gives Blue the freedom to be mid-range, to try to lean more into aggressive tempo, to have the outs. They can recycle the extra cards with Piccolo. They can recycle 1-drop 10Ks with Pilaf. They can recycle things like Final Hope Slash for offensive counter power. They got Gallet Gun to help chump out damage. There's so many things Blue can do, and I really do think that it's going to be pretty much the hottest color. A lot of people are going to bandwagon on green, but I think that once people realize that green has some holes that it needs to really tech against, such as like, you know, Ginyu, Frieza, Vegeta. That's another thing for another time. We're going to definitely have a video for yellow, but I think that green is going to be, it's going to start off being the most popular deck. I think it's going to be seen to have some flaws, and I think that blue will just be the most consistent because of its ability to combo, its ability to combo up very high, do some good damage versus green, its ability to wipe the board with Zeno, absolute laning. I think that it just has so many different things it can do against all of the colors. So let me know down in the description what blue deck are you most excited to play, and if you're not excited to play blue, what color do you want to play? Let me know which color I should do next in the comments, because I read these. I've been a little slow trying to get back to them because I'm trying to move, but it is what it is. On top of that, like I said, on Patreon, I will be going over my Goku Black just video article in depth with my own builds and takes. I'll be circulating my ways through Vegeta, through Trunks, probably not Zamasu because I'm really not feeling this format. And like I said, you can always get a chance to win this top 64 Vegeta on the Patreon as well. That contest will be going up right around this time when it's live. This video is live, so yeah, there's plenty of stuff happening in Universe X. We got black spoilers coming out. I'm very excited to keep going over theirs, and we started getting blue spoilers, even if it was just a super combo. So we've got a lot to do. We've got a lot to do. So yeah, check the links in the description. Check out the other channel. Check out the Patreon. We will continue rocking in Universe X, and let me know if you're going to Gen Con, because this is probably going to pertain to you the most. So thank you guys. I will see you next time. Later.